If you're a CEO, an executive, an ex-athlete who seems to be on a health kick and you've been dieting forever, it seems, but you're not seeing any progress right now, give me 3 minutes. I'm going to show you why that's happening, how to alleviate it, and a battle plan to do so. Okay? What most people do when they're on a big health kick is what they do is they actually take themselves from where they are and they deep dive. They increase the amount of training they're doing probably twofold, i.e. they go from doing nothing to 5 sessions a week. They then actually reduce their food usually by about half. Okay? Which actually, again, from a science perspective, cool, brilliant. You've increased your output, you've reduced your input, of course, you're going to lose weight. So what usually happens, you use 5 kilos. We'll use some ballpark figures. This could be anything, but again, you can resonate with this. You can lose 5 kg in that time period. Let's just say you lost it in 8 to 12 weeks. Then what happens? You keep doing the same thing. And for months and months and months on end, your fat loss in relation, because most people here, they start with, they're here for fat loss. People that stay with me, actually, they want to do athletic performance. But if you're trying to recomp, this would be for you. Your body weight does this. And the reason why it does that is because there's a term called bottoming out when it comes to your metabolism, okay? And then what happens, what's the only other option that you have then is to train more, eat less, train more, eat less, train more, eat less. And actually what happens here is you either get injured, or if you're female, it's called REDS, which is Relative Energy Deficit Syndrome. This is where you start to lose your period, lose your hair, you become moody, your bones become more brittle, you start losing especially losing your teeth, you don't lose your teeth, lose your hair and your nails, you're a arsehole in the best possible way. That is because you're bottoming out. And what that means is you don't break your metabolism. Before anybody says, oh, your metabolism breaks, people say, oh, your metabolism slows down, all that kind of shit. It's not that at all. What it is your body is then going into a place of I need to survive, okay? Why? This is called energy availability. Now you're looking at me going, what the F and hell is energy availability? Energy availability is the amount of adaptive energy that you have after you've used energy for life purposes and living. Okay? Think about it if you're like this, if that's your daily calorie intake, you've got what you have to survive, which is this, and then what you have to adapt with. Gain muscle, lose fat, get faster, get leaner, get more endured or whatever, get more conditioned, all that kind of cool stuff, okay? But what you're missing is there's 3 key pieces of this puzzle, and this is why you have to look at periodization, which we are going to talk about in a minute. Number 1 is if you're a male. It is a bit different just because of a male and female. You've got 30 and 20 calories per kilo free fat mass. Okay? This is to perform. This is subclinical. Cool. And this is clinical. Okay, cool. Everyone can see that. 3 different stages. First one is performance. If you're looking to perform as an athlete in any regard, and this is generally speaking, you need 40 calories per kilo of free fat mass for you to be operating and have enough energy availability to adapt, overcome, get better, i.e. it will get you leaner, fitter, faster, stronger, leaner, more effective, blah, blah, blah. If you're doing this for dietary purposes, recomposition, or for you to actually get into a position where you've put on too much weight because you're on a bulk or whatever, you're looking at subclinical energy availability, which is 30 calories per kilo of free fat mass. So get your body fat percentage, take that away from your total weight, that gives you free fat mass, yeah? Then you've got clinical energy availability. And this is where most people lie, is they hang about in clinical energy availability for ages, and you have down regulations of metabolism, you bottom out, and this is where you stop seeing positive returns of your calorie deficit, okay? For females, for ladies, it's 45, it's 30 to 40, and it's also below 30 because a little bit more because the female body breaks down a lot more than a man's due to estrogen and higher stress physiology too. Number 1, number 2, on subclinical energy availability, you're on a period. So if you're on a period, you are obviously expending more energy than usual, hence why you need a bit more. And lastly, it's the same thing. This is where we talked about before. That's where you're going to see REDS more often than not. Okay, so now what you're looking at me is let's draw this from a position of what your fat loss journey should look like, and if you are using this for body recomp gains, you get to give yourself the green light to have a fat loss journey, and you've done that deep dive. You've then hit the bottom of the barrel in relation to how much you're losing, and because you've gone to that 20 calories, or if you're a female, 30 calories, and then suddenly your body stops doing it. What do you think you need to do there? What most people do is they just flog themselves and they think they rely on willpower to stay down here. Well, actually, think about it this way. This will be the number one thing you need to know if you want to actually get back in shape and keep staying in shape, is you need to pull yourself out of that deficit and go back to this is around maintenance or higher calories than you were. I never drop anybody below 20. If you're asking me how I do this with my customers, they usually go to about this position. They go to 30 if they're a male or 35 if you're a female. Okay, why? Because I don't believe you need to go that low, and I don't unless you've got. I work with people that work in the fight game too. If you're in the fight game, obviously when you're trying to make weight, just the same with powerlifting, there are certain things you can manage and vet and change that can actually bring someone's weight down rapidly. But obviously, the higher you drop a bouncy ball onto a floor, the more it's going to bounce. It's the same with the metabolism. The higher you pull this calorie deficit, the more you're going to rebound out of it. How many of you have done a diet and then didn't put on an extra 150% of that body weight? Yeah, you lost 5 kilos, but you put 7.5 back on, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? It's because of this, okay? This position, you hit maintenance. You cruise at maintenance, and so diet principle here, this is 8 weeks, not 8 months. Around that neck of the woods, unless you're morbidly obese or you will preferably a big goose. If you're a big, or if you need to lose a lot of body fat, very different. I'm talking about people, men hanging around that 20%, 25%, 30% mark, women a little bit more, not people who are massive, yeah? You then have to go back to maintenance because you have to allow your body to reset, recalibrate and get used to that set point again. So if you're 100 kilos here, you go down 10 kilos to 90, you rebound it, you go 92, you 8 kilos. You may gain a little bit of weight here. You then have an opportunity to dive again, and then you can go on that 30%, and this should be a 10% off your maintenance. That means it's more sustainable. When we're looking at it from a dietary intervention standpoint, as he said, we don't want, if you're asking me the perfect way of doing this, it's not doing it your way, which is go to the extreme and then pull yourself back out of it. Me personally, what I do with nearly all of my customers who are, as I said, of that nature, they are working hectic jobs, they're super busy, and actually what they want to do is create staying power and sustainability within their performance so they don't go back in this yo-yo vibe, is if we start here and our target is here, their fat loss journey looks like this. Because I put them on a 10% deficit here, and I'd much rather somebody eat way more food and I give them more output than take their food away, because nourishing the body is the key to actually feeling like you're thriving and giving your body gas to do what it needs to do, and vice versa. We don't get that negative return when it comes down to being in clinical low energy availability. There is no need to do that. I don't work with people that are going on photo shoots, so that's why I don't do that. I don't need to. It's not my thing. I'm going on stage. All credit to bodybuilders. I think bodybuilders are some of the most incredible athletes out there. Just I've never done it. I don't feel authentic doing it, and it's actually something that I don't value in relation to I love a barbecue rather than just worrying about me walking about on stage. So from a practicality standpoint, people that I work with who are working high level jobs, who are ex-athletes, who really want to push themselves, recognizing that their fat loss journey here, if they're in a small deficit, they're not going to be in that clinical energy availability, that they're going to be in that subclinical one. We can then oscillate their performance through it. So their fat loss does happen, but then when they are traveling and they've got things away, or they're holiday with the family, or they get sick here, or they've got huge business meetings where they've got traveling in 4 different countries, etc., I've alleviated that through their nutrition compared to what you were doing before, which is I'm going to cut really deep and I'm going to stay where I am, get pissed off or frustrated and not go anywhere. I hope that makes sense. That's a super geeky way of saying to you that right now you're not periodizing your year. If you're dieting for longer than 8 weeks, that's a nutrition plan. Your nutrition plan should be designed to give you energy, not take it away. So if you're struggling to not only perform, to cognitively be in the room and be effective, and vice versa. Again, I don't usually talk around body fat, but it is important. Your body shape, health and performance is huge. The less body fat you have, the healthier you are. If you're struggling to lose body fat, this is something for you to look in before anything else. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and your colleagues. I appreciate it. People in this space need some help in relation to actually what's going to push the needle of their performance. Coming soon is, again, if you're struggling with your training, you're unsure about your nutrition, and you're now, your head's exploding going, now what the F and hell do I do? DM the word nutrition. I'll send you a free workshop. It's half an hour long. It's literally start to finish about what it takes to actually perform at your best whilst nourishing your body. And by doing that, you will get leaner, you will get healthier, you will actually get the keys to your car back with your protocols and understand what it means to actually have a nutrition plan to help you be effective across the board. So anyway, I digress. Hope that's helpful, and I'll catch you guys soon.